అవునా? సో ఏదేమైనా కొంచెం జాగ్రత్త చదవాలి. అది మనం ఇవన్నీ ఎందుకు చెప్పినామంటే మనం ఏదో బయట రాత్రులు కూర్చేయాలని చెప్పట్లేదు. ఇప్పుడు దాకా మీరు నేను వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఉండొచ్చు, మొన్న వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఉండొచ్చు, కొంచెం లేట్గా వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఉండొచ్చు, ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ నుంచి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఉండొచ్చు, కొంతమంది ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసులు ఉంటారా ఉండొచ్చు, ఇంటికాడ ఆ పరిస్థితులు ఉండొచ్చు, లేకుండా ఉండొచ్చు, రకరకాల రీజన్స్ ఉండొచ్చు. కనీసం ఇప్పటి నుంచే నెక్స్ట్ వారం నుంచైనా మంచి మార్కులు తెచ్చుకునే ప్రయత్నం చేయాలి. అది పోటీ పడాలి. ఆ పోటీ ఎలా ఉండాలా? పాజిటివ్ పోటీ. సరే, ఓకే. నౌ కమింగ్ టు గైనషిప్ and okay. So androecium, thalamus is represented by total 4 circles of modified leaves. Helix, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. This androecium, this is third circle in thalamus. This is the third circle. At the same time, this is also considered as outermost circle of essential organs, not outermost circle of total thalamus. Outermost circle of total thalamus is calyx. Outermost circle of essential organs, third circle, and this is the male sexual organ. Male sexual organ of a flower. And the modified leaves present in this circle, they are considered as stamens. They are called stamens. Now, these stamens are also called microsporophytes. Microsporophytes. Okay? Stamens are also called microsporophytes. The structure of every stamen. For example, this is one stamen. This is a stamen, microsporophyte. It is represented by a small stalk-like structure. A stalk-like structure. This is considered as a filament. Stalk-like structure is called filament. Now, the second part of the stamen, this is the most important and fertile part of the stamen. This is considered as anther. This is called anther. In this way, every stamen consists of two parts. Basal stalk-like structure, filament. Apical fertile portion, this is anther. A typical anther is also represented by two lobes. Two lobes. One is this is anther. This is one lobe and this is second lobe. A typical anther consists of two lobes. Okay. The anther with these two lobes, this is considered as two lobes. Anther with the two lobes, this is considered as bithekus or dithecus anther. Dithecus or bithekus. Di means two or bi means two. Anther with two lobes. Lobes are also called theca. Anther with one lobe is called unithecus or monothecus. Anther with two lobes is called bithekus or dithecus. So, one of the best example for this dithecus anther. This is most common, present in most of the members. One of the examples is the two. Similarly, monothecus or unithecus anther. Mono or unithecus anther means anther with only one lobe. This is called monothecus or unithecus anther. One of the best example, Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Hibiscus rosa sinensis. So, anther is represented by either one or two lobes. With one lobe is called mono or unithecus anther, hibiscus. With two lobes is called bi or dithecus anther. One of the examples is datura. At the same time, every lobe it is also represented by two microsporangia, singular, sporangium, plural, sporangia, two microsporangia. For example, this is Dithecus anther. This is Dithecus anther. There are two lobes. For example, this is one of the lobe. It is represented by two microsporangia, and other lobe is also represented by two microsporangia. The ratio of lobes and microsporangia in any member 1:2. One lobe, two microsporangia. At the same time, what is the total number of microsporangia present in a Monothecus anther? One lobe, two microsporangia. But how many microsporangia are present in a Dithecus anther? Two lobes are there. Dithecus, 2 into 2, that is equal to total 4 microsporangia are there. These microsporangia, they are also called pollen sacs. They are also called pollen sacs. Pollen sac. Okay? And this pollen sac is responsible for the production of pollen grains. Pollen grains. These pollen grains are also called microspores. Microspores. Stamen is called microsporophyll. Spores produced inside these stamens are called microspores. In this way, microsporangia is responsible for the production of number of microspores. These microspores are also called pollen grains. They are called pollen grains. At the same time, when many stamens are present in one flower, sometimes all the stamens, they remain free. Stamens remains free. When the stamens of a flower remain free, such a condition is called polyandrous condition. Polyandrous. మనం చెప్పాం ఒక మాట నిన్న. If the sepals are remain free, polycephalous. If the petals remain free, polypetalous. If the stamens of a flower remain free, this is called polyandrous. Polyandrous. At the same time, in some members, these stamens may be united. Union of stamens. Stamens may be united. Such union of stamens and flowers is also two types. One is this is cohesion. One is cohesion, and second one addition. Cohesion and addition. Union of stamens and flowers is of two types. One is cohesion, second one is addition. Cohesion means the union among the stamens, that is called cohesion. The union among the stamens, that is cohesion. Union of stamens with other floral parts is called addition. ఏంటి దీని అర్థం అంటే స్టేమెన్స్ 10 ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, ఈ 10 స్టేమెన్స్ కలిసిపోయినాయి అనుకోండి. స్టేమెన్స్ యూనియన్ అమాంగ్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్. దట్ ఈస్ కోషన్. స్టేమెన్సే యునైట్ అయిపోతాయి, అది కోషన్. కోషన్ అంటే సిమిలర్ పార్ట్స్ అని కూడా వస్తుంది, అవే యునైట్ అవటాన్ని కోషన్ అంటాం. అలా కాకుండా when the stamens are attached with other floral parts of the same flower, like calyx or corolla, whatever it may be, union of stamens with other floral parts is considered as addition, and union of stamens one to each other, this is called cohesion. For example, cohesion, this is maybe monodelphous స్టేమెన్స్. ఒక్కోసారి ఏమవుతాయంటే ఇక్కడున్న స్టేమెన్స్ మొత్తం స్టేమెన్స్ అన్నీ కలిసిపోయి బండిల్స్లా ఏర్పడతాయి, కట్టలుగా ఏర్పడతాయి, గ్రూపులుగా ఏర్పడతాయి. అలా ఏర్పడుతుందని ఏమంటారంటే అడల్ఫీ అంటాం. యూనియన్ ఆఫ్ స్టేమెన్స్ అమాంగ్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ Adelphi. But sometimes these stamens may be united into only one bundle, but in some members they are united into two bundles, but in some members into more than two bundles, depending upon the number of bundles formed by the union of these stamens. They are divided into three types. One is monodelphous. All the stamens are united into only one bundle. Only one bundle. This is called monodelphous. Example, Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Okay? All the stamens are united into only one bundle. Many stamens are there, and all the stamens are completely united into one bundle. That is considered as monodelphous. Example, Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Now coming to the second one, diadelphous. Okay? Diadelphous condition. Diadelphous. Diadelphous means di means two. All the stamens are united into two bundles. Okay? Two bundles. Very, very important. Example, pea and bean. ఇక్కడ ఎలా ఉంటాయి అంటే total 10 stamens are there. 10 stamens. 9 stamens are united into larger bundle. Remaining 10th stamen is considered as another bundle with only one stamen. Like this, for example, ఇక్కడ గమనిస్తే దీనికి ఇలా ఉంది. For example, this is ఇలా చూడు. ఇలా మొత్తం 9 ఉన్నాయి. ఇవన్నీ 9 stamens ఉన్నాయి. One stamen, it is remain free and separate. Okay? ఇలా ఉంది. There are total 10 stamens. 9 stamens of the flower, they are united into one bundle. This is considered as the larger bundle. Remaining 10th stamen, it is considered as the second bundle. 9 plus 1 condition is found in P and B. Anyhow, there are total 10 stamens, and all the stamens are united into two bundles. Larger bundle with the 9 stamens, and only one stamen, a second bundle. This is considered as diadelphous. Example, P and B. At the same time, other one is polydelphous. Polydelphous. Poly means many. Many bundles are there. More than 2 bundles are there. One of the best example, this is citrus. Many stamens are there, and all the stamens they are united to more than 2 bundles. That is considered as polydelphous. These are considered as cohesion. Because stamen, this is the union among the stamens. That is considered as cohesion. Now coming to the next one, this is addition. Addition means this is the attachment of stamens with the other floral parts of the same flower. For example, this is two types. One is epipetalous. Epipetalous condition. Epipetalous. Epi means on. Petalous. Stamens are united with the petals. Stamens united with the petals. If the stamens are united with the petals of the same flower, that is considered as epipetalous. One of the best example, this is brinjal. This is one of the best example, brinjal solanaceae. Stamens are attached with the petals. That is called epipetalous. Example, brinjal. And second one, epipillus. Okay, epipillus. Epipillus condition is also considered as epitepalous. Epitepalous. Tepalous, not petalous. Epitepalous. This condition is called epitepalous. Generally, this is present in lily plants. ఏంటి epitepalous అంటే లిలీ అనేది మోనోకాటిలేడనస్ ప్లాంట్. There is no the variation of stem, calyx and corolla. Exactly, these perianthropes are similar. Homoclamidious anna. There is no variation into outer calyx and inner corolla. Such type of perianthropes, they are considered as tepals. Tepals. Stamens, if they are united with the tepals, that is called epitepalous. So stamens are united with the tepals అన్న stamens are united with perianth అన్న రెండు ఒకటే. That is considered as epiphyllus and epitepals. One of the best example. This is lily. Very important. Now coming to the next point. This is so in some flowers the length of filaments is vary. In some flowers the length of filaments or the length of stamens it is vary. Some of the best examples for this one is salvia is one of the example, and also mustard means brassica. This is one of the best example. So in case of salvia there are total 4 stamens. Total 4 stamens are there. In each and every flower there are total 4 stamens. Of these 4 stamens, outer 2 stamens are very short, whereas the lower 2 stamens are very long. They are arranged in 2 circuits. Outer stamens are very short, whereas inner 2 stamens are very long. That is considered as didynamous stamens. Okay, very important. Okay, didynamous stamens. డై అంటేనే రెండు అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇక్కడ లాంగ్ స్టేమెన్స్ యొక్క నంబర్ను బట్టి పేరును పెడుతున్నాం. వాట్ ఇస్ ద టోటల్ నంబర్ ఆఫ్ స్టేమెన్స్? 4. అండ్ outer 2 stamens are very short, whereas the lower 2 stamens are very long. 2 stamens are very long, so that it is named as didynamous stamens. ఏమన్నది? Didynamous. Di means 2 stamens in inner pole, they are very long. And this is one of the example, that is salvia. But what about in mustard? Here total 6 stamens are there. Inner 4 stamens are very long and outer 2 stamens are very short. Inner 4 long, outer 2 short. Okay, so that it can be named as, depending upon the number of longer stamens, it can be named as, దీని ఏమనొచ్చు మనం, 2 పొడవుగా ఉంటే డైడినమస్ అన్నాం, 4 పొడవుగా ఉంటే ఏమనొచ్చు వాటి? టెట్రాడినమస్ స్టేమెన్స్. వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. టెట్రాడినమస్ స్టేమెన్స్. టెట్రా మీన్స్ 4 స్టేమెన్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ లాంగ్. ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఈ రకమైన వాటిలో అవుటర్ స్టేమెన్స్ షార్ట్గానే ఉంటాయి, ఈ మొక్కలైనా ఈ మొక్కలైనా. ఇన్నర్ స్టేమెన్స్ పొడవుగా ఉంటాయి ఏ మొక్కలు. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి, వాట్ ఇస్ ద రేషియో ఆఫ్ లాంగర్ స్టేమెన్స్ అండ్ షార్టర్ స్టేమెన్స్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ సాల్వియా ప్లాంట్? 2:2. దట్స్ ఈక్వల్ 1:1. But what is the ratio of short stamens and longer stamens in brassica? 2:4. That is equal to 1:2. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి, what is the ratio of short stamens of salvia and brassica? Short stamens of brassica and salvia 2:1. That is equal to 1:1. But what about the ratio of the longer stamens of salvia and also brassica? 2:4. That is equal to 1:2. So in some members like salvia and brassica, length of filaments it is varying. In case of salvia, didynamous stamens is there. That is, there are total 4 stamens. Outer 2 stamens are very short, whereas the lower 2 very long. That is didynamous. But in case of mustard, there are total 6 stamens. Outer 2 stamens are very short, whereas the lower 4 stamens are very long. So this is called tetradynamous stamens. Tetradynamous stamens. Okay? Very important. మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సిన పాయింట్స్. ఇక్కడ మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సిన విషయాలు ఏమి? 1. వీటన్నిటి మనకు ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ తెలుస్తున్నాం. This is the third circle, male sexual organ, outermost layer of essential organs. Individuals of this animation is considered as microsporophiles, and individuals of microsporophiles are also called stamens. Every stamens consists of 2 parts, filament and anther. Filament and anther. Anther is the most important part. Anther may contain either 1 or 2 lobes. 1 lobe, uni or monothecous. Example, hibiscus. A typical anther is represented by two lobes, bi or dithecus. Okay, microsporangia. Every lobe is consists of two microsporangia. They are also called pollen sacs. Is responsible for the production of pollen grains. In this way, two microsporangia are present in monothecous anther and four present in dithecus anther. Okay, if the stamens remain free, that is considered as polyanthrous condition. If the stamens are united, it may be in cohesion or addition. Cohesion means this is the union among the stamens, but addition means this is the attachment of stamens with the other floral parts of the same flower, either with the petals or with the tepals. Okay, take example monodelphus, example hibiscus, diadelphus, pea, bean, polydelphus, citrus, epipetalous, stamens plus petals, brinjal, epipillus, stamens plus perianth, or stamens plus tepals, that is epitepalous, example lily. And length of stamens is also vary in the same flower, that is considered as one salvia didymus, 2 plus 2, and brassica, this is tetradermis, 4 plus 2, 4 inner longer, outer 2 short. Okay, this is male sexual organ. మళ్ళీ అక్కడి నుంచి కంటిన్యూ చేస్తాం. ఓకేనా? ఈరోజు